we discovered a massive need for women to find an identity surrounding being a woman and an entrepreneur. I'm Marley.
And I'm Rachel. Women like us, women who are the primary earners in our families,
are searching for identity, community, visibility, permission.
A place to be heard and supported.
We are leading with our vulnerability to allow others to feel safe.
We are strong
and feminine. We are bread-winning women.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
It has been a long time since I've seen you.
I know, we saw each other on Breadwinning Women TV last week, and, we talk every day, but when we don't have 3 weeks or so in between seeing each other, it seems like a long time.
It really, really does. That's kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy, though, because there are people that live in the same city as me that I don't see for months, but if I don't see you for 3 or 4 weeks, it just seems weird.
Paul just saw the memory on Facebook of us all meeting each other, the video from SMU Live and us playing Mansion Pong. That was only a year ago.
That's how we bonded. That's how we fell in love.
It works. Soulmates.
I think everyone needs to know what Mansion Pong is now.
Okay, so Mansion Pong is this amazing game. We invented this in a mansion last year in Texas. And basically, some people stand up on the balcony and inside the house, and other people stand on the floor. And you have to yell Mansion Pong really loudly. And you have a ping pong ball, and you hit it to the top floor, and you guys are hitting it back and forth in between levels. But it only works in mansions. So that's what our criteria is for when we're looking for an Airbnb. Is this a good space to play Mansion Pong in?
Correct. I have other criteria, but that's the only one that Rachel looks for. And because of that,
I have one more.
Okay, what's the one more?
It's what you're about to say.
It has to be very far away from the airport?
You got me.
It doesn't look at the location at all. So sometimes we'll be so far away from what we went there for, or just crazy that you have to backpack on a goat to get up to the top of the hill where the Airbnb is. And it's just really inconvenient. But there's good Mansion Pong and nice views.
I always pick places with the best views, the coolest scenery. I mean, sometimes you might have to wind around hills for an hour. Oh my gosh, don't get me started though on the McAllen one. We were winding through the mountains of Idaho, literally.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. You said McAllen.
I meant McCall. So that one was so rough.
Yes, it was. I was so sick, but I wanted to be there because, FOMO, but I was so sick, and we're on these windy roads, which made me even worse, but it was worth it.
Totally. And I can handle roller coasters. I don't get motion sickness. I've only gotten motion sickness twice in my life. And one was in the mountains of Mussoorie, India. But there was no guardrail, and you're winding around a road, around a mountain, and then a cow would walk down the road. It was that was very overwhelming, and I felt so sick by the end of that trip. And the second one was in McCall. That was pretty rough.
And you were also pregnant.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We have a question from the audience, do we?
How is your rib, Marley?
Aww, let's talk about that for a second. Just so you know, this episode of Breadwinning Women TV is not our normal format. We're kind of having more of a coffee catch-up with the Breadwinning Women.
My rib with you guys, that's kind of crazy too.
Yes, little teaser. We're going to share some updates. My rib, it may be broken. I'm not sure, but here's the thing. I am in the States. Canadian in the USA problems. I can, but I've never had medical attention while I'm in the States. And I don't understand how it works. Apparently you have to pay for it. When as a Canadian, if I get my feelings hurt, I can go to the hospital and get them checked for free. So the fact that you guys have to pay for your health care, I'm a little confused about. So I've had a cough it's October 24th right now. I got a cough on September 28th. and I've been coughing this entire time. And I've been in the States this entire time, and I I didn't want to go to the doctor because I don't know how it works here. That might sound ridiculous, but I have apparently coughed a rib out of place, or I don't know if I cracked a rib or something, but it hurts a lot and it keeps getting worse. So we've decided that we're flying home tomorrow, and my husband has said, like, I don't have a choice in this. We are getting off the plane and going straight to the hospital. So we'll find out tomorrow, and we'll let you know on next week's episode.
That's unreal. I love this. There's some great advice, by the way. Melissa also says, I never used to get motion sickness until I had my first child. Game over. And Molly says, can you go to a chiropractor? I like this. Find a crunchy chiropractor clinic and they'll help you out.
I do like the crunchy ones. I looked into a chiropractor. I called them. I sent like an email on their system, and they had a new patient special, and I went through their funnel. But their funnel had some issues, so it turned me away, and then I forgot about it. So marketing problems.
Seriously, got to get those funnels in check.
My commitment is over the top. Thank you. I take commitment very seriously.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. So we've been getting some really, really interesting questions. By the way, in case there are any questions about my sunglasses today, I am channeling my inner Liz Benny today with my own sunglasses. Actually, I just put them on my head and they made my hair look less bad. So I decided to keep wearing them.
That's a good key to hair care and to fashion, is to just put something in your hair that it just brings up the volume, makes your hair a little higher, and it's a whole new look.
Even like sometimes unconventional tops can help with that. Like now you would never guess that I have bad hair today.
This is a whole new format to the Breadwinning Women show this week. I think we're taking a whole new direction, and I like it. You know, the Tuesday before Breadwinning Women Wednesday, I'm always saying to Rachel, what are we going to talk about this week? And we come up with like whatever's on our hearts. And this is what's on our hearts. This is it. On our hearts and on our heads. The higher the closer to God. Yes, correct,
Amen.
Molly.
That's like a true Southerner. Okay, so we have been getting so many questions the last few weeks. People have been like, so what's the plan with Breadwinning Women? Like, and people have been asking us that actually from the very beginning. And it's so crazy because like we have had this like roller coaster journey of figuring out what the plan is with Breadwinning Women. And so we're going to share with you guys a little bit about it, but only if it seems like people want to know. So what we'd love from you is if you're watching, comment and say yes, if you're excited to hear what the plan for Breadwinning Women is and what comes next. And you might
give me all the dough.
So go ahead and comment below and let us know. It might surprise you though, based on who we are, because normally Marley and I are like, we go, we get it, we make everything happen. Okay, the yeses are piling in. Yes, yes, awesome. So Marley, I'll let you start because it's been an interesting journey of figuring out what Breadwinning Women's going to look like.
Yeah. So when we first started, we had all these ideas. We mapped it out. We actually had a flow chart of our entire value ladder and how we were going to launch things. And you guys, I think about the day that Rachel and I went into the bank. Rachel was having pre-labor. Is that what you call it? She was having contractions. We're sitting in the bank. We're like, can we wrap this thing up? Because we got to go to the hospital. Little did we know it was actually going to be a few more days, but she's having contractions. We're sitting there. We're eating the suckers at the banks. You ever wonder why banks give out suckers?
It's because you have to wait so long, or because they think we're suckers?
They think we're suckers. That's what it is. Please go follow Cashflow Tactics. Those are our friends at Cashflow Tactics. They say that. I've just been filming with them. Anyway, we're at the bank and we're setting up our bank account. We're like, we're going to launch this thing. It's going to be amazing. And like, we still have all these big plans, guys. Like, this is still going to be amazing. But we sit down at the bank lady, and we're in her office, and she's like, please call her.
Claudia. Her name is Claudia. I've seen her since.
Okay, great. So we're eating our suckers. We're sitting with Claudia, and she's like, tell us about your businesses. We're like, well, we have 6- and 7-figure businesses right now, and we're launching this one together. So bringing our expertise together, we're going to create this entire huge empire. And she's like, what do you expect your revenue is going to be for this year? Rachel.
I can't remember how much we said, but we said somewhere in the millions. You can't
Ridiculous.
laugh right now.
You know how people, like sometimes people, and Alex Sharpton was talking about this. There'll be someone that'll be like, yeah, I just hit my like first 6-figure year. What's next? What's coming up next? What's your next goal? 10 million. Like they just get huge stars in their eyes and they're like, I am going all for it. And we just had plans. Like we hadn't even created the Facebook page yet. And we're like, we're going all in. We know this is going to be huge. And we still do have that burning passion and just that, like, you know, when you have that gut feeling, you're like, oh my God, this is going to be huge. But then a few days later, Rachel goes into real labor. We went to the hospital and they sent us back in one of the biggest snowstorms in Minnesota history. I don't know if that's true. I'm just amping this up for the story. We're on the road. We can hardly see 2 feet in front of us. And we have this amazing idea. And so we get back to our house and we spend the rest of the night. We worked until, I'm not even kidding, till 6 a.m. that morning. And we took a 1-hour nap, and then Rachel went into real labor, and we went to the hospital. And I'm very proud to say that I was with Rachel when she delivered her baby. That is something that I feel so proud of and honored that I got to have that experience, that I watched her deliver her son, Dominic. And every time I hold him, I'm like, I love you so much. You have no idea. I just want to throw you in the river. I tell him that all the time. He'll understand when he's older what that really means. You know, cute aggression, like when you just love something so much, you're like, oh, I just want to squeeze you. But like you say things that might be a little bit aggressive. I do that to him. He doesn't understand it yet, so it's okay. So anyway, we have these big ideas. We literally gave birth to the business the same day that Rachel physically gave birth to her son, Dominic. And then some time goes by because, you know, Rachel has to recover from giving birth. And by recover, I mean, does everything the same because she's an absolute rock star. I have to be like, Rachel, please sleep. Like when the baby sleeps, you're supposed to sleep, right? But she, why am I rambling so much?
Fun.
It might be the cough syrup. So we take some time to figure things out and to reset, because one of the things that I learned from Rachel and her husband, Paul, he came to visit us and was talking about every time you have a baby, it's like you have to find your new identity. And when he said that, I was like, I need to find my new identity when things shift in my life. I love that. Anyway, Rachel, I'm going to hand it over to you to what happened next.
Awesome. So anyone who's had a baby knows, like, and if you haven't, this is kind of a crazy like PSA, at least this has been my experience and the experience I've heard from a lot of other people. You're suddenly like, wait a second, who am I? How did I get here? All of a sudden I have 3 kids. Like, what's my identity? Do I even like clothes? Like, what do I wear? Do I want this hair color? Like, who am I? And so that was just a really weird process for me this 3rd time. Thankfully, I did have my business to jump into. And I was like, okay, I know I'm a businesswoman, I'm a leader, and I'm a CEO. But all of a sudden with a 3rd baby, literally, you guys, my therapist said, Rachel, you cannot work like this forever. You have 3 kids. You have a husband. You're working like you're going to die in a few years. Like, this is not okay. And I had this realization, like, we can't always be doing it all. It doesn't mean we can't do it all. It means that there are different seasons for different things. And many of you guys know that Marley and I both have 2 businesses each. We both lead schools or universities online where we teach people, but we also both work with clients, and we love our clients in our agencies. Like, it's something we're so passionate about. We're the best in our fields, and it's something that I'm very, very proud of. But something that this is actually really funny because Alex Sharfin is a mentor to both of us. And he was like, basically, you can't chase 2 rabbits. And I realized we both already have 2 rabbits. Like,
we have lots of rabbits.
We have all these rabbits. Yeah, they're increasing like real rabbits. Suddenly I have 3 kids. And it was just this massive realization, like, okay, what are we doing? Are we able to like get our businesses into a place where we're able to launch Breadwinning Women the way that we want to, and to show up the way that we want to? And so one of the things that we think is going to be amazing is that we aren't just going to launch Breadwinning Women quite yet, which is awesome. And it's good. And here's why. We never want to be women who lead because of the sake of leading. I don't know if that makes sense. We want to set an example. We want to show you that you can be successful, but not show you that you can be successful for a low price of X, and that's why we were successful. We want to build massive, successful companies that have recognition, that get us respect in the industry. Marley's going to try not to cough herself off of this live, but she might, and that's okay. But there was just this realization of like, we owe it to our clients, we owe it to our students to honestly build our businesses to a place of massive success and a place where they're running even kind of without us, or even if we shift our attention a little bit to Breadwinning Women, it doesn't affect our universities, our clients, our agencies, things like that. So we have a massive, massive goal. Do you guys want to hear what it is? It is a big goal. Marley can't even say it without coughing. It's that big.
My ribs so bad.
This poor girl. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to reveal it to you while Marley's not here. So, do you guys want to hear what it is? Because it's crazy. It's huge.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, we are each going to build our businesses to $3 million.
Not two, but $3 million
a year each. So that is a combined force of at least $6 million in revenue. And we want to take you guys along for the ride so you can see like the highs, the lows, everything that happens behind the scenes as a breadwinning woman. It's not always easy and it's not always glamorous. Like, as you guys know, Marley and I travel a lot. What does that look like? How does that affect our relationships? Being a parent, how does that affect our relationships at home or our sanity or our health? Goodness gracious, right? There's so much more that goes on behind the scenes of a $1, $2, $3, $5 million a year business. And the crazy cool part is I'm just at about $2 million a year run rate. So I'm getting kind of close. And so I'm going to keep going with you. We're going to keep running until both Marley and I have $3 million a year businesses, because that's something that we want to lead by example with. Marley's not gonna be able to talk. She's like, I have a thought, but I can't say it at this time.
I had a thought and then I had a pain. One of the big things that we want to do is show you the journey, because there are also a lot of those people out there that they sell you the dream. They sell you the get rich quick. They teach without the experience. And we have the experience. And we have what we are doing right now to show you and to document the entire process, show you what's worked, show you what hasn't worked, show you the things that we are failing in and the things that we're succeeding in and the things that we fail in and how we switch it up. Like right now, you guys, you see that I am sick and that I have literally coughed a rib out of place. And that is not something that I'm proud of. And I haven't gone to the doctor, and I kind of joked about it at the beginning, but it's like, this actually sucks. This isn't something that I want. I need to change this up so that if I know that I'm traveling all the time, I need to take care of my health and make sure that that is in place. I'm going home tomorrow, and we put a no-fly zone on November. This is the first time since January that I've been home for an entire month. And when I think about that, I'm like, it's so cool that I got to travel, and it's so cool that our business is growing to the point that we have clients flying us all over the world. But also, what am I sacrificing, and what are the choices that I need to make in that? So when we can share this with you, hopefully it allows you to learn from our experience so that you don't have to always learn things the hard way, because sometimes you can learn from other people's experience. And we're just going to be really real with you, whether that means sunglasses and cardboard boxes on top of our heads and broken ribs and coughing live on Facebook. You know, we're just going to be so real with you so that you can see everything, the behind the scenes. I want to do more Instagram stories. If you're not following us individually on Instagram and Facebook, go look up the Mrs. Peterson and also Marley Baird. And we also have the Breadwinning Women Instagram, Facebook, which if you're watching on Facebook Live right now, there's also our podcast, the YouTube channel. We'd love for you to join us throughout the entire experience.
And now we're going to let you guys go because Marley needs to go rest her lungs. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey for the good, the bad, the ugly. And we are so excited and honored to lead you guys as we show you what the journey to 3 million a year looks like. So we'll see you guys later.
Love you.